And we are live. Welcome to a special live stream from TFL on our Ask for Help on a Wednesday
Special.
night. It is special,
Yes.
very special. We got a few things to talk about tonight. We Brian was very busy last week, and I was
hmm
sicker than a dog with migraines last week, with the weather going up and down and up and down and up and down. It caused me. I
Oof.
was away from work for a whole week. It was bizarre. And then today, we won't talk about today, but it was a frustrating day to say the least.
Yeah, it was cold
But
out.
it was, and the weekend's going back up. So, and
Yay.
Saturday, I'm teaching a class, another build and learn at Spool 3D. So that's why we're doing a recorded show this Saturday. So we kind of thought we'd switch it up.
We're shuffling.
And yeah, and Brian is actually doing the video this Saturday. So that way.
Yes, yes. I promise I will. I promise it'll be longer than 6 minutes.
Even when we record him for 2 hours, it's still only 6 minutes.
That's me. 2 hours of entertainment, 6 minutes of content.
Yeah, there you go. I want to say hello to people in the chat tonight. We have 3D Print Viking, Canadian Maker Project. That's our buddy Ron. Captain Lachlan, hello. And John Kitchen and Corey Mack and 3D Medic Vince. Tim McCoyne, hello. And Trevor Rickard. Hello, guys. Welcome to our live stream on a Saturday night. On a Wednesday night.
It might as well be a Saturday. Let's
It
be
might as
honest.
well,
Who
yeah.
hasn't lost track of this week?
I got to tell you guys, with COVID-19, we're not going to get too much into it, but I will say this: a lot of Calgary is shutting down. A lot of events are shutting down, as I'm sure it's happening all over the world. You can see across the bottom of the screen that we have our Patreon supporters going across the screen. We're going to start doing that on our live streams. I do want to point out somebody tonight from our Patreons, and that is Wesley Fletcher. Wesley is our first Patreon supporter at the $10 level, so we will
Hey,
be
welcome.
hooking up with Wesley on our special Discord that we set up for our Patreons at that $10 level, and we've got a lot of great things coming your way. You can see back there, we've got another R2D2 full size. Just to give you an idea, this is the circumference of the actual dome and body. Yeah.
I could fit in that.
Well, I don't know. We could probably get Jess in
It would
there.
be. It would be a very long-term hula hoop contest because it would only go
There.
about halfway down.
There you go. Hey, there's David Sell in the chat tonight. Also 14 Scarecrow, Joseph Jolly, and 3-second cover. I like that. 3-second cover. Is
I
that
believe
like
that's
the
our
song?
friend, a friend from the Edutech there,
Oh,
actually.
it could be. That could very well be.
Or no, I'm sorry. It's our friends down in Lethbridge. I'm sorry. I'm getting all my
Ah,
channels mixed up.
there you go.
Yes, David Harmon. There we go.
David Harmon. There we go. No, David
Sorry,
usually
David,
comes
it's been-
in as David. David comes in
Yeah,
as David.
but he's under his new channel there, which is actually.
Oh, okay.
I admittedly haven't checked it out yet, but hey, you're gonna have a lot of time at home to get everybody to watch some YouTube, so check out his
Yeah,
channel.
there you go. There you go. I got to give a special shout out to both Ken and Dave over at the Canadian Tire up here at Deerfoot Meadows. They helped me out with a real bad situation I had. Not to mention that Brian came and rescued me this morning, and that's why I ended up having to go to Canadian
And
Tire.
as is tradition, I created more problems than I solved.
But hey,
I got him there, but that's about as far as I got him.
but you know what? It all worked out in the end, and it wasn't an overly
Absolutely.
expensive issue. So let's get into some of the questions here. Captain Laughlin's first with his question. He says, "What do you think about modifying the motherboard to make the stepper motors less noisy?" There's a couple of ways that you can do it. Don't bother putting TL smoothers on it because in my testing, in all the testing I've done, they just don't do much. They don't take the noise out of your system. They don't really improve your print very much. I haven't noticed it on the Ender 3. I haven't noticed it on the Cr-10, and I've tested it in both of them. What I would say for you to do if you want to go to something that's quieter, either update to the Creality 1.5 silent board or go with the big tree, either the E3 dip or the E3 mini. That would be my suggestions. Brian?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat there. I'm using the E3 dip on all my machines, and you're going to get much better performance out of going to a Trinamic driver setup than you're going to by putting in TL smoothers. TL smoothers fix some certain issues, but it wasn't anything that I couldn't resolve just by dropping my jerk settings. So, it's if you're going to spend the money on TL smoothers, you can get an E3 dip board with 2208s for practically the same price. I hate to say it.
Yeah, because I think smoothers are about what, $7 or $8 a piece, something like that.
Something like that. If you go wholesale, they're cheaper, but who wants to wait 5 weeks, right?
Yeah, exactly. Trevor is asking, I do have a good question on the CR10. One of my belts is broken, and I had bought a replacement belt. It doesn't have the one piece on the metal on the end. And then any suggestions on how to make it? You really don't really need that metal. All you have to do is just fold over the belt, put a couple of zip ties on there, and you should be just fine.
You can even tie a knot if you really need to.
Yeah.
Because the gap is not that big to begin with. So,
no.
You
But
just need something to prevent it from sliding
forward. Put on
forward.
a couple of zip ties, and it'll hold it just perfectly for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, there's Gary T. There's Wesley Fletcher. We just talked about him. Pierre Fontaine. Did I miss any? Snapshot FPV.
Yeah. Why are we on now? For those of you who are just joining now, it's because this week doesn't really feel like much of a week. So we're a little behind on the content. So we decided, hey, let's go live tonight and drop our new episode Saturdays. So make sure you're subscribed and ring that notification bell so you get notified when that new video comes out. I'm building the content for it right now, and I think you guys, it's a fun one. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, I think you guys will enjoy it too. It kind of gives me a break too, because Saturday I'm going to be teaching all day. So when I get home from teaching, I am just totally burnt out. For anybody that's in our chat that has been in one of my teaching sessions, you will know that yes, I'm pretty tired by the time I get home. But at the end of the day, this is about 3D printing, and you're probably wondering what I've been playing with in my hand. This little piece of red plastic that I have. This is a BLTouch offset guide. I created this BLTouch offset guide. I haven't put it up on Thingiverse yet, but it is for a 2.55 millimeter offset for your BLTouch. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, and we're going to be doing a video on Z offsets very, very shortly, so please hang in there. It'll probably come out next Wednesday. What this does is this allows you to get your pin at the right height from your nozzle. Your nozzle should sit down on this flat part, and then your pin will sit on this upper area here. So it's just up 2.5 millimeters. It's a great little gauge. I use it all the time, and it seems to do the job for me. So I will put that up on Thingiverse at some point, and I'll also put it over in our Facebook group so you guys can download it whenever you like. And we have a new coin. Dun, dun, dun. You guys can't see that very well, but we have a new coin. Seeing as I was home and when I could get on the computer, I decided I'm going to make a new coin. So we have a new coin that I'm not sure if we're just going to make a bunch of these and just give them away randomly, or we are going to... What do you want to do with these, Brian?
Break vending machines?
Oh, well, they're a little big for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. As you all know, Murph is on hiatus. I think it is. Is it Murph? Yeah. So
Murph is on hiatus,
I think this is a great opportunity for us all to get our maker coins together and put them out there. So maybe we need to start a maker coin exchange ring, if you will.
That's
postage only
really
costs a couple pennies. Throw your coin in an envelope, send it off, make an exchange back and forth, 1 for 1. And let's see who has the coolest collection by the end of the year.
That's actually... let's bring up that timetable. Let's do it by the end of summer.
Okay, end of summer. Let's start with that.
We're all quarantined right now anyway, for most of us. A lot of businesses have shut down. So we've got time to design and play with it. And if you guys are unfamiliar on how to make a maker coin, maybe we'll do an episode on it in another week or so.
You mean you don't want to edit the one that Jess and I took 2.5 hours on?
No. Remember, I tried doing that.
I actually do have a maker coin. Yeah. Actually, I'll have to. I'm going to load up an old one. I'm going to load up Fusion, and then I'll show you guys the preview.
Okay.
But if you guys want to coordinate this effort, no, it's going to take me a minute to load up Fusion. You know how it is. So you get to see blurry printers in the background. Yay! So what we'll do is for the Maker Coin exchange, let's, if you haven't joined our Facebook group, you can check us out. And I think Richard's got the cards all set up there, but because I have no control here. But you can join us at facebook.com/groups/the first layer. And, subscribe to our Instagram, Twitter, and all the YouTube links and all that while you're at it. But we're going to coordinate on our Facebook group the exchange list. We'll have to figure out the logistics about how to get people in contact with each other. We don't want to have a database of addresses. But if you have a Maker Coin, let us know in the chat tonight, and let's all rendezvous in a week and start getting those Maker Coins out there.
So Wesley actually has a question. While you're doing that, I'm going to go back to our two-shot here, and I will cut to Wesley. And Wesley is asking, I'm getting both my printers Sunday. I'm thinking of using the Ender 3 Pro for PLA and PETG, and the Monoprice 3D printer for nylon and other exotics. Does this make sense? Yes, I think it does. The Monoprice Ultimate Mark 11 probably is an enclosed machine, I believe. So that would be great for your higher temperature plastics because it's enclosed. Now, as far as putting PETG through the stock Ender hot end, you may want to consider doing a hot end upgrade at some point, because once you start getting into that 240 range, that PTFE liner, the Bowden tube, will start to break down and start to clog your hot end, and it happens rather quickly. So what I would do is I would consider upgrading the hot end on the Ender 3. But otherwise than that, I think that's great.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see if I can do this magic correctly.
The Edge of Tech.
Bah, 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 bah. There we go. I haven't printed in a long, long time, but it's more of a proof of concept of all my different fusion skills. So, yeah, it's also nice and shiny on this GPU. I didn't realize I haven't updated this since December 2018.
But it doesn't say anything, Brian.
Well, okay, am I supposed to put writing on it? I'll put some writing on it. Okay, maybe I'm just not that interesting.
Well, you guys leave a comment below. Is Brian that interesting? Thumbs up. Now, for anybody that watches Joel Telling, who we consider to be a friend of the channel, Joel today released a brand new video on his high five cover for his hand. Did anybody see that?
I saw it, and I thought to myself, when was the last time I high-fived someone? And then it brought back memories of 1996 and pizza and Ninja Turtles and all that sort of stuff.
Well, I was thinking, that's kind of a cool idea. So I've got some, what do I got here? I've got some Kodak TPU, Flex 96 actually, which is their TPU. And I want to thank Kodak for sending this out. So I'm going to make my own little fist bump. Because everybody knows I like to fist bump or give you one of those. Or I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to make a fist bump, a rubber fist bump. And then we'll
that'd be
release
pretty
it online.
awesome.
And everybody can go around making little fist bumps. Don't punch people in the head with your fist bump.
Well, see, here, this is what I was going with, is, we can have these fists and all that, and we can have the hands. out a TPU, and when this is all blown over, we can just have a good old slap fight in the parking lot.
Like blackjacks.
Yeah, there you go.
You might
there
be
you
too
go.
young for that, Brian. You don't know what a blackjack is.
Well, I've lost at blackjack enough.
A blackjack is something that a hood
Yeah.
used to use to knock people out and steal their money in the back alleys.
Ah, okay.
Pierre Fontaine, he says, bringing home 2 FDM printers from work during our work quarantine. Any tips on how best to transport these in the back seat of a car? Seatbelts, zip ties, sedatives. You should be fine. I would probably put a seatbelt around them, just so if you have to hit the brakes really fast, they're not going to go flying. I would also re-level the bed once you get them into the position in your home that you're going to use them. Just make sure everything is still tight.
1, remove your bed. Remove the glass, whatever it is. Remove the breakable aspect of it. Step 2, preferably tighten down your bolts on the bed, because the wiggling will cause those wheels to go missing in your car. Apart from that, if you somehow lost your calibration, chances are something was loose already, because these things should be rigid as a rock.
Brian, I am going to give you control for a few minutes, and I will be right back.
Did anyone notice the creepy stormtrooper just show background? All right, fans. I got one for the audience tonight, and I just want to kind of communally pool some ideas. So, my Ender 3, I actually took it for a little road trip and had a few issues, and when I came back, I'm having some layer banding. So, it's an Ender 3. It's got I want to say an E3 dip in it with TMC 2208s on everything, and I printed this at 0.12 millimeter layer height. So, I've got a challenge for you guys. First of all, I want you in the chat to let me know if you know what it is, and second of all, what your ideas are for what the banding is. And I'm going to preface it by saying, I put white lithium grease on it, the rod is straight, it's moving freely. So, here she is. So this was printed at 0.12 millimeter layer height. Whoa, the camera went a little crazy there. So you can see the banding there, and it almost looks like every couple of layers, that's fixed heights, is double printing. So otherwise it was quite nice. The tree supports turned out nice, just have a bit of cleanup on the bottom. But for 0.12, I would have not expected to see any sort of banding like this. So I want to see what you think in the chat. Let me know below. Who else we got coming in here? And I saw the comment in there about distributing STLs. I like that idea. So maybe we'll do that route, because honestly, I don't have enough information at this stage about COVID to describe the surface time and all that. So let's do an STL exchange for the time being. I will set up something on the Facebook group, and maybe we'll create a Dropbox or something where you can drop your maker coin, and in a few weeks we'll showcase all the different ones that people have sent us. Maybe we'll print them out of resin, maybe out of TPU, maybe out of PETG, who knows? Let's see how time goes on there. Captain Locke, can you make smaller merch so I can buy a t-shirt and a sweatshirt? I will look into that. Richard's the one that controls the Teespring store, and I think it's just a flag we have to turn on to add more sizes and materials. Hello, Dan Borio. What do we got going on here? Here's my maker plan, a bottle of Purell. Hey, that Purell could be worth a few bucks. James, check your flex coupler between the motor and lead screw. If it's not centered, it can cause it. I'll check that tonight, James. It was straight, but I've also been known to screw up my coupler alignments. Could be inconsistent. It could be inconsistent filament diameter, though. Let me see if I can get you a close-up of this, and you'll see how. This is usually how I diagnose my errors, is how consistent. Let's see here. I'm going to try and turn this light right on her there so you can get a closer up detail. You can see how it repeats at the exact same heights every layer. Now, if that was inconsistent filament diameter, you would see a much more random pattern. But what we're seeing here is a fixed height, and I'd have to pull up my calipers and get the exact measurement. If it's I want to say 0.2 millimeters between each one, or sorry, 2 millimeters, then it's probably an issue with the lead screw misalignment. 3-second cover. Yeah, this stepper interpolation, it could very well be that. Oops. Sorry, I'm getting used to which direction to move this thing around on me there. I'm going to take a look at the stepper interpolation. It hasn't changed, though. It was working fine before, but I'm starting to think that there might still be more issues with the Trinamic software. That's why I haven't been doing in-depth videos on it, honestly, is because it's changing all the time. So for those of you who didn't know, Marlin 2.0.5.1 came out recently, and I just saw 3 hours ago, which was really interesting. I don't have any info yet, but Marlin 1.1.9.1 got released, which should have a bunch of bug fixes to 1.1.9. Now, I don't think I'm going to have any machines to downgrade to try it, but if you've been having issues with Marlin 1.1.9 and want to stay sub 2.0, there is a bug fix out now.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, welcome back.
Yay! All right, so Raymond Emsley, who is one of our moderators and also a co-worker of mine, had a really good idea with the pandemic the way that it is. He says, let's find a place to upload our STLs for our maker coins, and we can exchange them that way. That way there's no postage, there's no possible germ spreading, there's no getting lost in the mail. We'll make a file for all of these maker coins over on our Facebook page, and then you guys can download, and I will start with this one. I will put mine up there tonight, so it will be there. Now, there was another question here from Captain Lachlan wanting to know when we are going to get sweatshirts and t-shirts in kid sizes. Very soon I am going to go into our store on Teespring, and I will be looking at smaller sizes for kids very, very soon. So, what else did I miss here?
Not too much.
Gary says, here's my maker coin and a bottle of Purell.
Yeah. So what I'm just doing...
it's funny that you say that.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to make mine. So for all of you who... I suppose we might as well talk about it because it is the topic of the month, really, of the year, potentially. For those of you who have isopropyl alcohol for cleaning, there are recipes out there to make your own hand sanitizer.
Yep.
I'm not going to tell you how to make it because I want you to Google it and do it correctly, but it's a great use for all that extra isopropyl, and you can. We'll start talking about different ways to clean your bed and not waste that precious, precious alcohol.
Chris Travis, you do not have to learn how to make a maker coin in Fusion 360. You can do it in Tinkercad. So if you're familiar with Tinkercad, you can actually go ahead and do it there.
I'm just trying to see if there's a way we can...
Do what?
I don't think there's a way I can make a Google Drive where people can upload but cannot delete. So I might have to create a drop zone for everybody.
Well, why don't we just put one over on the Facebook page?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the technology how to. Because we by jumping the gun and dropping this live stream tonight, we have fewer questions than normal. So
yes.
Why don't you guys go ahead and throw all your related questions in the chat below, and we will knock them off as we go here.
TK3D is saying that he's having a hard time getting IPA. IPA is kind of scarce right now. No word of a lie. This pandemic has caused not only problems for the general public, but also for us 3D printers. As you can see, I've got my D7 back there, and we're going to be doing a review on the Creality 2R, LC or LS2R, something like that. very soon. I know Jim over at Edge of Tech just did one. And if you're looking to find out a little bit more, go and check out his video over on Edge of Tech. And he did a really good one. It's a little short, but that's okay.
That's how all of our videos go sometimes, eh? So I actually want to bring this one up to the chat because I got a thought.
Go ahead.
Raymond was telling me to get rid of my white lithium grease on the lead screw.
Okay.
So I'm curious for everybody, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think we shouldn't be using white lithium grease on there? Because I've used it tons of times and I've never had an issue. I guess it depends on the branding as well.
You know, if Ray would have kept the microphone that I lent him from the office, he could have been on tonight and explained why he thinks that we shouldn't use white lithium grease.
Hear that, Raymond? Your opinion doesn't matter.
Jim says it's the Creality LD00R, 2R. Yes, we're going to be doing a review on that very soon. I know that the printer is in Vancouver. It's in customs at Vancouver right now. It did come from China. It was supposed to be here on the 9th. Of course, it didn't get here in time, but it actually didn't even get shipped until like the 12th. It didn't leave China until the 12th. So we will have it soon. And with that, we've got a couple other ones coming up as well. We will be doing a review on the Toy DIY or TOY DIY 3D printer. It's a 4-in-1 printer, which will be coming up later in the season. And this is a printer that has two filament-based heads. One is a mixing head, and the other is a single head, single filament head. It also comes with a laser engraver and a milling engraver. So that'll be an interesting 3D printer to look at. It's only got a build volume of 180 by 180 by 180, but it will be a very interesting one to see. And then we will be looking at the FlashForge Creator Max, which is an interesting machine. It has a dual head, has Wi-Fi, and it is a true multi-material machine, fully enclosed. So there's a lot you'll be able to do with that. The only thing that I think that holds that one back is the build volume. It's not very big. It's typical to the Creator Pro.
And you know what? I'm really curious to see about that multi-purpose kit because I recently dropped too much money that I care to say on a Cricut.
Oh, good, because I got lots of things I need to use that for.
You know what's funny is this thing is giant. It weighs a metric ton, and it only cuts like a 12 by 12 square. And that's the biggest one you can get from them. So I love it. Don't get me wrong. It works fairly well. But it's like I look at my 3D printers and I'm like, why couldn't I have just done this with my 3D printer?
There you go. No, I've got some stenciling stuff I need you to do for me.
Oh yeah, well it does the job. I mean we've been playing with the engravings a little bit. I don't know if that'll come through at all. And yeah. It does do a good job, and it does it very quickly, but
nice.
It's really cool because now we're blending all of our hobbies together here between 3D printing and doing vinyl cutting and everything. It's, this is a sub-$1,000 hobby these days. That's kind of cool.
Pardon me, Tim McCoyne is saying, willing to share locally. So we'll make you a coin there, Tim, and you bring me yours, and I'll give you mine.
Yeah, we'll have a few available down at Spool as well. So
I just started printing them. I made up a bed so that I can print 9 at a time. And you know what the funny thing is? You guys know that I did that review on the Anycubic Mega Zero. That was printed on the Mega Zero. And, out of all the crap I talked about that machine, I didn't really talk a lot of crap about it, but not on air anyway. The only thing I still think it was a deterrent for them to make this a great printer was not having a heated bed. But, you get around that by putting a little glue stick on the bed, and your prints just print fine, and it gives you a nice texture on the back as well. So that, if you're new to 3D printing, Do I still recommend it for a beginner? Absolutely. Do I recommend it for somebody that is of my level of printing, or Brian's, or some of our favorite guys out there like Edge of Tech and 3D Printing and Painting? I see Jerry's in our chat tonight. I don't think it's for them, but for somebody that's brand new to 3D printing, I think it's a good buy. It keeps you in under that $200 range, and you get a machine that's capable of printing TPU right out of the box. I've got TPU here. This Kodak stuff, I'm going to try it with it because they say I can print it, so I'm going to try it.
I'm just catching up on all these emails. 3-second cover is say he'll CNC us a maker coin. Now that I really want to see. In fact, we might have to send you a. Man, I'm sorry. If I had SolidWorks, I'd actually send you the routing data, but we might just have to send you the STL. That would be killer. Amazing to have a metal special edition maker coin.
Yeah, it would be actually. That would have a special place in the shop for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I was playing with was this guy. Oh, there goes a DVD. You guys are probably wondering what this is. This is a light sign. This is a miniature version of what I was trying to do on another level, but basically what it is that you put LEDs around the inside so that the inside lights up, and then you put LEDs around the outside so that the outside lights up and gives you a color cast on the wall. So that was something I was toying around with, one of my many Fusion 360 kind of, I want to try it and see if I can do it. So Fusion 360 I'm finding is not that difficult. I still stumble through it a lot, but I am getting better. Mm-hmm. And of course, you get better the more that you practice. And this will eventually be much bigger and hanging on the wall either here or in our studio at Spool 3D.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. And then we can get to some fun technology into like my realm where it like flashes if you get a new subscriber or something,
Yeah, exactly. There's no reason we can't put some sort of Arduino-based controller on there.
So James Lane was saying the Kodak filament 97A shore hardness is not very flexible, and it's probably firm enough to print on almost any printer. Have you ran that through a printer yet? I can't remember.
No, I haven't. Raymond was going to, but he didn't get a chance to. So it is still unopened. So it is still freshly sealed. I am going to open it though. The one thing about the Kodak filament, I think that is a little bit of a setback for me, is the fact that it only comes in 750 gram rolls for like $22.
Yeah, it's not cheap for that.
It is a very good quality filament, and it comes in a resealable bag. So don't be like me when I opened up my first one and I punched it through the center. Open it up the right way.
That's exactly what I do every time.
So that was this was sent to us by Kodak through our good friends Ron down at filaments.ca. So yeah, we're going to be working with Ron a little bit more in the future here.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to sidetrack for a few moments because Ben Stanley made an awesome comment, and I just wanted to talk briefly about two items. The first that he brought up, it said, the people over at Project Open Air are building an open source respirator to help hospitals combat COVID-19 using 3D printed parts. And I did look briefly into this project. I'm waiting for the stage to which I can tell everybody, hey, you can contribute or you can do tests for them and all that. But it's a very early stage. I'll see if I can get a website for you guys to go check it out.
I believe there's a link to one on our Facebook page. And you can actually sign up to be a part of the project when it becomes available online. And I have signed up, so the first layer is signed up to help out this epidemic. I mean, we've only got 3, 4, 5, 6 printers at our disposal just for the first layer, so we can start pumping stuff out for them. That's not a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And I encourage anybody that will be able to contribute. I know I've seen a couple back and forth articles, so we won't discuss controversies with companies or anything like that, but people are doing good right now and are bringing low cost parts to where it's needed. So if you see a proper group, one of the things I have not done yet, but I've been looking into is the proper agencies locally to determine if there are items they require that we can somehow supply. Because the cost is nothing for us and it's the world for them. So be
That's
sure to
true.
be in contact with your local medical medical services to find out if there is a way that you can give back to your community during this time. If you can't help out physically, and this was an interesting one started by the PC Master Race subreddit, is in conjunction with NVIDIA, they're encouraging everyone to sign up for Folding at Home. Folding at Home, I'm going to post a link in the chat for that one as well. There is a project that goes back decades where it allows scientists to farm out tasks to people's computers using idle energy when they're not working. So for all of us that have powerhouse PCs for slicing and Cura, if you don't mind a little bit of extra power draw, you can contribute to doing scientific calculations for many different scientific projects, some of which are vaccines, related to COVID and different outbreaks out there. And so it's a neat project that kind of has slipped into the back end for probably the last 10 years or so and is making a comeback. So if you have a free couple of computer cycles or you just want to check it out there, go download it. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't take any personal information. It just uses excess CPU power that you're not using and throttles it back when you need it. So that's the best two ways I can think that you guys can use all your cool technology right now to help out this frankly global crisis of our species.
There you go. We should probably stop talking about that, or we'll get demonetized.
That's very true. That's very true. Yes.
YouTube is
Yeah, we're not going to talk
down
about
on that.
YouTube.
Yeah. Sorry, I got to say it because they are cracking down on it. Now
that's why we're not going on a bandwagon.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about how you guys can support the show. First and foremost, you can support the show just by watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, that kind of thing. All of that helps us at the end of the day with our analytics. And the analytics actually put money into our pockets to help keep the lights on, to help us keep bringing you guys content. So the show doesn't cost you anything. We do this because we're passionate about what we do. We're passionate about the hobby, and we like to engage and entertain and bring you guys the best information that we possibly can. If you do want to get involved and you want to help us out in a different way, you can always check us out on Patreon at the First Layer. Let me see if do I have those anywhere? No, I probably don't. I don't have a card for those, but you can see scrolling across the bottom. These are people that are in our Patreon right now at various levels, and Wesley being our first $10 tier, and that is our highest tier, by the way. We have a $1, a $5, and a $10 tier over on Patreon. If you want to help us out monthly, you can. It's great. You can also buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/thefirstlayer. And finally, I think you can buy our merch. That's it. One of these. Yeah, one of these. This guy here.
So
here,
if you missed Lachlan's comment, more sizes to our store.
Yes, we're going to start putting more sizes. You can see I've got the Facebook or link up there. Let me just turn off the scroller at the bottom so you guys can see all the information. It's teespring.com/store/thefirstlayer-2. And that's where you can find our t-shirts and our hoodies and things like that. We are going to add some child sizes and women's sizes. So if you got somebody who in your life that would like a woman's size, we'll have those available as well. I think we have some women's sizes there. I'm not sure. But as far as going to events this year, that ain't happening.
Events, yeah, no.
We heard from a reliable source that Calgary Expo has been postponed. There's no official word from Calgary Expo, though. This is kind of an inside source that let us know that they've postponed it. So when we do hear the first real official word from Calgary Expo, we'll know for sure. The Calgary Stampede, for anybody that was thinking about coming for Calgary Stampede right now, that is postponed. They're not saying whether it's going to go on, because that usually happens at the end of July, beginning of June, right? Or end of June, beginning of July.
What, Calgary Expo there?
Yeah, no, Stampede.
Oh, sorry. Stampede, yeah, no. I'm not planning anything at this stage. That's the truth.
Ben, you can already get, I think, 3XL sizes in some of our stuff. Ben Stanley's asking if we're putting up sizes, can you get bigger shirts? I think you can. Wow, we got a lot of people in the room tonight, and I want to thank you guys for joining us on a Wednesday night. We just kind of did this. We threw this together kind of last minute. Brian and I talked about it the other day, and yeah, we're here. We're Toronto Comic Con. I'm just finding out from Ron, who is now he's changed his name to Ham Radio. Canadian Maker Project says the Toronto Comic Con has been canceled. So same with Fan Expo.
Here's what we need to do. Okay, for those of you who don't know, one of the events that's happened is Discord has opened up their video chat to a maximum of 50 people, up from 10.
Wow.
So we might have to have our own massive online convention. I can imagine it'll be an absolute nightmare, but we should.
We could do that. We could definitely do that. How would you guys feel about doing a 50-person live stream?
We'll call it ORF, Online Rep Rap Festival.
There you go.
I'm trademarking that right now.
Online Rep Rap Festival. So ORF.
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 ORF. That name sounds great because that describes his year. ORF.
ORF. Yeah. So if you guys want to be a part of ORF, let us know and we'll set something up on our Discord. We do have a Discord. It is the first layer. And there is a Discord for general. And then there's one just set up for our Patreons, of course. For our Patreons, that will start happening here real soon. Every Tuesday and Thursday night, I'll be on there for an hour, or Brian will be on there. One of us will be there. Mostly me, because I don't expect Brian, with his daytime job, to also come and do another job that he volunteers.
Well, Discord's on the phone.
Discord's on the phone. So yeah, let's talk about. We'll look more into doing a 50. You said 50 people.
It can do up to 50 people. Yeah, I haven't played with it yet, but
we'll look at doing a 50 people Discord, and maybe we'll stream it live from here.
Yeah,
I've got the bandwidth, so we can stream it live. So 3D printing
we've
and painting
proven that
says
the internet's not
I'm in.
clogged.
I heard that Vegas is shut down too.
Yes, yeah, everything's changing day by day. That's why I've been setting like 6-day print jobs, because by the time it's done, I'll forget what the heck I was doing.
There you go. Michael Castle says VRF, Virtual Rep Rap Festival. That's also a good one.
Yeah, they're saying there might be something called VRF coming soon. I don't know.
James Lane says he's in. Joseph Jolly's in. Well, we might have to really put something together here then and get you guys all set up on Discord, and we'll get something going, and we'll plan it out and have our own little mini online Rep Rap Festival. We can show off our prints. We can show off our projects. We can talk about what we do for the public. And if you are, selling stuff on Etsy or whatever, we can talk about that too. So that's the one that will open up so everybody can self-promote like crazy. Mm-hmm. How's that? That'd be awesome.
There you go.
Everybody can self-promote like crazy. All you have to do is have a microphone and a camera, I think, to be involved. And you don't need anything special. You can have a webcam. You can have the camera on your tablet.
Yeah, you know what? It's been so long since we've done a traditional hangout, and I think that's the way to do it. Now, we'll have to moderate it a little bit, but we want to see all of you. You know, we see you all in the chat with text and everything, but then it's maybe the chance to show off your project, show off how 3D printing changes your world. Yeah. Bring us into your home rather than you bringing us in.
That'd be an awesome idea. And I know that Jerry's in from Vegas. So, you know, Jerry's got a huge collection. Anybody that's watched Jerry's 3D printing and painting channel, that man has a huge collection of 3D printed models, figurines, action pose stuff. And he is waiting for me to do a Jabba the Hutt that he got sent to me. And I am in the throes of getting that done. And I will share that with you guys for free. That won't be on Patreon. That will be for everybody when I get started on that print. Right now, I've got a few other priorities I have to do first, and then we're going to move forward. And May the 4th, don't forget, we've got a special. Mark your calendars for this. May the 4th, we're doing a special episode with some really cool surprises if we can pull them off. And you guys will have a good time. So make sure you mark your calendars for May the 4th. It's a Monday, and that is going to be our special Star Wars celebration because, listen, I'm a huge Star Wars guy. Brian, you're kind of a Star Wars. I see you've got your Stormtrooper looking over your shoulder. Kind of.
Yeah. You won't even show me anymore on camera.
Oh, yeah, you're not even on camera.
Yeah, you've just been talking to a T-shirt the whole time.
I've been talking to a
jackass.
What the? Sorry. See, I get distracted. Squirrel. Yeah. So we are going to be doing a lot of great stuff. May the 4th, mark your calendars for that. It's going to be our Star Wars Spectacular.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, actually. I'm just trying to get my machines up and going because I've been gone on the road so much. I'm taking the opportunity to play with everything again. So yeah, I've got electronic components in front of me here, playing with some stuff. And if you guys know what these are, you let me know in the chat below.
Raymond Emsley says, or is asking, is there guidelines for the maker coin? No, there isn't. Just make a maker coin.
And there are guidelines. Make a coin.
Make a coin.
Maker coin. That's
with your logo on it. That identifies you as the maker. And I think that's really the only catch. It just has to identify you as the maker.
Yes. Ironically, mine, the X is indicative of my online emblem, but it's not clear enough. So you can go as clear or as not. Just, it's going to be unique, and you want to design it so that when someone holds that coin, they can remember who you are.
Exactly. And we are going to set up a file over on Facebook in our file section where you can put your maker coin. One of our old ones is up there now. I will be putting this one up. I will put up a special, we have a first layer Dropbox, so we will put something up in Dropbox as well and make it freely available to everybody that is in our community that wants to take part.
Yeah, we'll
Captain
figure
Lachlan
out
says,
something.
I don't have a logo. You got time to design one, buddy.
Man, I think I gotta go into some archives and show you guys. I made logos myself way back when. There's a perfect time to start. For me, it was in high school when we had a free class with Photoshop. So, that being said, create something cool.
There you go. That's all you got to do.
Let's see if I can find it.
Well, you have a look for it. So, I'm taking a look here over at the chat while you're looking. Michael Castle makes a good point. Everybody's going to have to take turns talking on Discord. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to understand anybody. That's true. So we will work something out for that.
Yeah, I'm just going through old stuff here. Oh, man. Memory lane.
Well, I've got lots of old logos I could go through, but this is the one we're sticking with. So Captain
Yeah, it's
Lachlan
kind
says
of fun.
he gets the Adobe apps for free with his school.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Click that
you.
like button
It's
because this is the way. I have spoken.
indeed.
I don't look like a short Nick Nolte, that's for sure. Maybe I can do my best Nick Nolte voice.
Oh
No?
no.
That sounds nothing like Nick Nolte, I know. Ah, another
Hey.
project.
Wow, that's going back far too long. There you. Oh, that's really too long ago.
Who is that?
That was me. What, like ages ago? There's some
Wow.
old Stroby for you.
Holy Christmas.
Yeah, that's going back a bit.
So, because I'm not a big logo or Lego guy, I mean, I like Lego. I just don't like the company Lego because I think they put their foot down way too much. I'm building a giant Lego me again. And to make my Lego me, I have purple for the shirt,
Ooh.
flesh for the skin,
Nice.
and black for the pants.
See, I would keep the head yellow. I don't know. Maybe that's just because I'm just old school like that.
This yellow is way too bright.
That's fair. And I mean, this is far too flexible, even though it's like the correct yellow.
The correct yellow? Or the correct yellow?
That's a good point. Yeah. So Lachlan's saying you should combine your maker coins to make one big super maker coin. You know. I got an idea for everybody. Let's set a standard diameter for your maker coin. When we do that, we'll make a big maker coin with slots for many maker coins.
Well, I can tell you that
And when you
mine
upload
is
it-
50 millimeters.
So when you upload it, we will print it, and we will put it in this giant maker coin.
There you go. So we'll be announcing that file that you guys can upload your coins to. And now we've got rules.
Yes.
So it can't be any bigger than 50 millimeters. So this one is 50 millimeters, and I've made mine 5 millimeters tall. So
Just don't make it like this thick, you know?
Oh, you mean like the last ones I did?
Oh, yeah. That wasn't a maker coin. That was a
brick.
chunk of cheese.
Yeah, that was Chuck E. Cheese. That's right. So 50 millimeters in diameter, and you can go 5 millimeters to 1 centimeter. It's entirely up to you. I wouldn't go over 1 centimeter though.
Yeah, they get a bit thick then. When they combine, they make a giant MakerBot, aka Voltron.
Hey, we can do that.
You know,
I think
if
that'll be a nice little addition to our backdrops, don't you think? Having a nice big plaque
yeah,
with
you know,
all these
I was just
maker
thinking
coins.
if Maker Faire was still a thing, I would have encouraged them to put slots on their model, and we could have made a big one. But I don't know what's happening with Maker Faire anymore.
Well, Maker Faire is going to be happening. From what I understand, it hasn't set a date yet. They are in the planning stages right now. They're looking for venues and so on and so forth. They're still pretty early
good.
in the planning stage. I got an email about it recently, so we are going to be having another Calgary Maker Faire. In light of what's happening globally right now, I don't know what that date is going to be. If it happens at all, we'll have to wait and see what the government says and if they lift, some of the sanctions that are going on. On the plus side, there's been a lot of reported cases of beating this pandemic. worldwide. So we don't get that good news. We always seem to get the bad news of how many people have passed from it. But there has been a huge surge in people that have gotten over it. So
honestly, at the end of the day, guys, and I mean, we haven't had any issues in this group, but I've definitely seen it on my personal pages. This is not a political issue. This is not a race issue. This is not a beliefs issue. This is a species issue. We're going to fight this together, and we're going to conquer it together. So, thumbs up, everybody. Lachlan said, can we go past 8? We need content to go past 8. So throw us questions. Maybe we'll stay a little late.
Yeah,
I don't even have any. I don't have any exciting beverages. We bought a bottle of very high proof, non-branded. I'm not going to mention the name alcohol in lieu of rubbing alcohol, just in case we needed to clean. So
that's an awfully expensive bottle.
It was like $42 for the liter.
Oh my lord!
Yeah. I'm. It's something. Hey, on the plus side, and you know what? We haven't had this chat yet this week. What's the weather like in your area? Because here, it's actually manageable again. I could have some windows open. So
yes, it was getting better.
It was kind of a nice change.
Snow.
But you know what? And this is your friendly reminder. As it warms up, humidity increases, so your 3D printing parameters may change. Now's a good time to remember to keep your filament dry, have your desiccant packs handy, and prepare for an increase of stringing.
Yes.
Tim, sorry, your message, I think your question got buried, so type it up again in the chat here, and we will tackle it.
Tim. Sorry. These things go by so fast.
Take me to your leader. Sorry, that's a terrible pun. Shame on you, Brian Vines, but my gosh, that made me laugh.
LB Sharp says he's under a tornado watch.
Well, stay safe, my friend.
Wesley saying
as much
90,
as
90.
I'll tell you guys a fun little fact about me. I love storm chasing. I love weather, but I could not imagine being in a place that gets severe weather such as tornadoes. We get some pretty wicked hail here, but we generally don't have any threat of wind-based damage.
Yeah, we don't have that too much at all. It's -8 in Calgary right now, Gary's saying.
Yeah. Lachlan, that's a good question. What's the craziest filament you've used?
I can't really say because I haven't used anything too crazy. I think PETG is probably the most exotic filament I've used.
For me,
this will be the first time using this. I've used wood. I don't find that very exotic.
I find it's just so weird with its properties. Flexible. Yeah, flexibles are kind of fun. I keep on having this roll here because every week I do a talk about it, but it's so weird. It's hard to describe. It's like a rubber ducky material. So how that manages to go through my extruder with, it being pushed forward, I don't understand it. So, but it's so cool when it's done printing. It's way firmer, unless you go real thin on your outer walls. So you can create some rigid but flexible structures with it. It's kind of fun. Maybe I'll try something soon. I'm currently printing PET-G on the machine it was designed for behind me, so we'll have to see what the availability allots.
Okay, here's Tim's question. He says, will TPU stick to PETG if I start a print with PETG, stop and switch to TPU, then back to PETG? I've never tried that before. I'm not sure.
At the melting points, you might have luck with it, but I think I get at what you're trying to do here, and I'm going to tell you, you're probably going to want to change your design to allow you to swap out the materials as they wear. Use a better adhesion, like a more preferable adhesion for your flexible joints, and print the TPU parts so you can pop them in and out if they wear down over time. Because I haven't actually, that's one thing I haven't tested with this material yet, is how often, or how much it maintains its elasticity over time. It's a bit of a different world.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how that would work. I mean, I've got TPU here, and I've got some PETG in the other room, and if not, I've got some in my bucket at work. I could certainly test it and try it because I've got a machine that's got a Bondtech extruder on it, so it should be a problem.
PETG, it either sticks to something or it doesn't stick to something, and
exactly.
usually my luck is on the latter for that. So, you know what? Give it a try. Do a XYZ calibration cube. Check out our first layer cube on Facebook. There, do that. Pause it halfway through, swap it, and see how it binds there. Because remember that binding is not always just based off your layer heights. It's the design of the joint, about how it's going to bind in that aspect. It's also the aspect of how hot it was at the time, if your materials atoms basically align properly. There's a lot of factors in there. It's not just will these two materials stick together.
Captain Lachlan says, can you 3D print fabric materials? Can you 3D print on fabric materials? Yes, you can. There are several different filaments out there that will allow you to do that. There's a couple of videos out there on that as well. RC Life did a video on it a couple of times where he tested PLA, a flexible, and I think TPU. I can't remember, or PETG.
I couldn't see why you'd want to do that when vinyl sheets are so cheap now.
Yeah, there you go.
Even with this machine behind me here, it's actually, there's a lot of vinyl heat transfers you can get for T-shirts, and you'll get a much better result. I can't think of any complex shapes you'd want to 3D print onto a fabric, though.
Yeah, well, some people want to make their own T-shirts. Well,
I mean, I'd love to see someone, have something stuck. Like print a couple. I'm not gonna make the joke, but you could just imagine having a couple of Arc de Triomphes or something hanging off a shirt. It just seems like such an odd thing. If you guys have some kind of idea of what kind of 3D apparatus you would want to print on a shirt, as long as it's not, you know where I'm going with this, as long as it's appropriate, please tell me in the comments below. I would love to see what crazy appropriate ideas you guys have for shirts.
So R. Smith is asking, what filament would be best for O-ring type gaskets? I'm going to say TPU, because TPU is a filament that can handle a lot of different chemicals. So it won't break down like with grease and oils and salts and things like that. So a lot of RC car guys use TPU for tires if they're printing their tires, and that would be something I would certainly check out as TPU if you want to do gaskets.
Yes, and this 80, what is it, 80, this one, I think it is?
That one is 85, I think that one is.
85, yeah, this one here. You can see the temperatures are very reasonable within a range you can print on an Ender 3. You're just going to have to print really slow and have a better extruder. But this stuff, it's flexible, but it's extremely firm. So if you're expecting a rubber-style gasket out of this, you're not going to get the same thing. But if you're looking at something that can handle a bit of compression, then this stuff's not expensive, honestly. It's just a ripe, what we call PITA, to print, because you have to, as everyone's saying, you have to go very slow, higher temperature.
Yeah.
It strings, it does everything in the book you don't want it to do, because you're basically trying to push a material with compressibility using an extruder and a Bowden setup. So if you have direct drive, it's a good fun time. If you don't, you're probably going to fail more often than not. Brian Vine's asking about the short hardness on it. I think I've got, well, you're going to have a better time with direct drive. I'll check the shore hardness on it. I think it's 80.
Yours is 85.
Is it 85? Okay, I think I got a 90 over here too. Let me just go in and scrattle on over. I put it all away somewhere.
Yeah, this one here from Kodak's 98. So.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I don't think it's on this packaging, because this is old stock. So.
I believe that's an 85. That old
Yeah, you
stock.
can always pop into Spool 3D and check them out. They've
Yeah.
they've got all sorts of different ones, and they've got the data sheets in house if you need to find it out.
All right, gang, it's 8:01. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. We had a really good go at it. We had a lot of people watching. We had a lot of people interacting. Really like that. Remember to give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, depending on what you liked or didn't like tonight. Leave us a comment down in the comment section below about tonight's show. And we will see you guys on, well, Brian will see you on Saturday. And then I will be
Yes,
back
I
with you
will.
next Wednesday to talk about how to set up your Z offset with a BLTouch. And we will see you guys then. And until that time, remember that the first layer is always your foundation to a great print. Good night, everybody.
Night, everyone.